Hi guys, it's Miss Lisa and I'm out on the porch for Friday story time, porch time, story time, and I have one of my most favorite stories of all. Actually, most of the books that this man has written are some of my top 20 favorite books of all time to read to children. This one is called Stephanie's Ponytail by Robert Munsch, and the art is by Michael Martinchenko, and he does a lot of the illustrations for Robert Munsch's books. I hope you love this book. This one is Stephanie's Ponytail. One day, Stephanie went to her mom and said, "None of the kids in my class have a ponytail, so I want a nice ponytail coming out the back." So Stephanie's mom gave her a nice ponytail coming out the back. And when Stephanie went to school, the other kids looked at her and said, "Ugly, ugly, very ugly." And Stephanie said, "Well, it's my ponytail and I like it." The next morning when Stephanie went to school, all of the other kids had ponytails coming out the back. Stephanie looked at them and said, "You're all a bunch of copycats. You just do whatever I do. You don't even have a brain in your own head." So the next morning, Mama said, "Stephanie, do you want a ponytail coming out the back?" And Stephanie said, "No." And Mama said, "Well, I guess that's it, because that's where ponytails go." And she said, "Oh, no, it's not." She said, "I want one coming out of the side of my head over my ear." "Very strange," said her Mama. "Are you sure that's what you want?" "Yes," she said. So her Mama gave Stephanie a nice ponytail coming out the side. When she went to school, the other kids saw her and they said, "Ugly, ugly, very ugly." And Stephanie said, "It's my ponytail and I like it." And the next morning, when Stephanie came to school, all the girls, even some of the boys, had ponytails coming out the side just above their ears. The next morning, Mama said, "Stephanie, do you want a ponytail coming out the side of your head over your ear?" Stephanie said no. And she said, "Well, do you want one coming out the back?" And she said no. "Well, then that's that," said her Mama. "There's no other place where you can do ponytails." And Stephanie said, "Yes, there is. I want it coming straight out of the top of my head like a tree." "Well, that is very, very strange," said her Mama. "Are you sure that's what you want?" "Yes," said Stephanie. So her Mama gave Stephanie a nice ponytail coming out the top, just like a tree. And when Stephanie went to school, the other kids saw her, and what did they say? "Ugly, ugly, very ugly." And Stephanie said, "Well, it's my ponytail, and I like it." The next day, all of the girls and all of the boys had ponytails coming out the top. It looked like broccoli was growing out of all of their heads. The next morning, Mama said, "Stephanie, do you want a ponytail coming out the back?" And Stephanie said, no. She said, "Do you want a ponytail coming out the side?" And Stephanie said, no. She said, "Do you want a ponytail coming out the top?" And she said, no. "And that is definitely that," she said, "because there's no other place where you can do ponytails." She said, "Yes, there is. I want it coming down the front, in front of my face, hanging down in front of my nose." "But nobody will know if you're coming or going," said her Mama. "Are you sure that that's what you want?" "Yes," said Stephanie. So Mama gave Stephanie a nice ponytail coming straight down the front. And on the way to school, she bumped into 4 trees, 3 cars, 2 houses, and 1 principal. When she finally got to her class, the other kids saw her and said, "Ugly, ugly, very ugly." And Stephanie said, "It's my ponytail and I like it." And the next day, all of the girls and all of the boys and even the teacher had ponytails coming out the front, hanging down in front of their noses. And none of them could see where they were going. They were bumping into desks and bumping into each other, bumping into the walls. And by mistake, 3 girls went into the boys' bathroom. Stephanie yelled, "You are just all a bunch of brainless copycats. You do whatever I do. When I come in tomorrow, I am going to have shaved my head." The first person to come in the next day was the teacher, and she had shaved her head, and she was bald. The next to come were the boys, and they had all shaved their heads, and they were bald. The next to come were the girls, and they had shaved their heads, and they were bald. The last person to come was Stephanie, and she had a nice little ponytail coming straight out the back. The end. Look at this teacher. Pretty bad. Stephanie's Ponytail by Robert Munsch. One of my favorites. All right, I'll see you later. It's Miss Lisa. Have a good day. Happy Friday. Bye.